All right, probably one of the most interesting products of the year. Not necessarily one I want to buy, but I'm still super curious to see how Apple implements this. They are not new to the game, but Apple has been known to kind of mainstream an industry that has remained niche for many years. They were not the first smartwatch, they were not the first wireless headphones, but you see these things everywhere. So who knows? Maybe there's a good chance this folding iPhone will outsell all the rest. Let's begin. So as all the best leaks do, this report comes from a Weibo leaker named Instant Digital. They've actually had a pretty reputable track record on previous Apple reports, so this is not coming completely out of left field. It's like there is some validity here. Of course, things are always a little bit subject to change, so you shouldn't look at anything I talk about today as confirmation, and don't trust any YouTuber that says things are confirmed when they are only confirmed by the great solar donut in Cupertino. First off, it looks like the folding iPhone is going to be copying one of the weird design attributes of the iPad mini, but I guess in some ways it is kind of a mini iPad, so that makes sense. For one, he mentions that the volume buttons are going to be moved to the top, similar to how they are on the iPad mini, but still with a side power button that also has Touch ID integrated. Kind of weird, kind of bizarre when you think about it. So that means when the iPhone is folded up or unfolded, essentially you're going to have volume on top and Touch ID on the side, which I'm very curious about because this device is rumored to be extremely thin. Yes, Apple has made things like the iPhone Air, but they've never incorporated a Touch ID sensor into a device that razor thin, which is kind of weird. So definitely a little bit different and something that might honestly annoy me if I was like, reaching into my pocket to change volume. I kind of know where the volume rocker is on my current iPhone. Having to relearn that to, okay, now the rocker's on the top of the phone. I don't know, little different, maybe a learning curve we can get used to. Or I guess Apple's answer would be, don't reach into your pocket to change the volume. Just buy an Apple Watch digital crown. That's the way to do it. But in case you're curious, yes, the folding iPhone, just like the iPhone Air, is rumored to be eSIM only, which means the left side of the device has to be completely smooth. And no, I'm not just referring to the hinge. Of course, they're not putting buttons in the hinge. Why would you ask that? But no, it means like even when the iPhone is unfolded, there's absolutely zero buttons on the left side of the whole chassis. Your Touch ID is on the side and your volume buttons are on top. Kind of weird, a little different, but again, this Weibo leaker has had quite a bit of accuracy in their past, so I'm kind of inclined to believe it. And I suppose it would be weird for Apple to keep the buttons in the exact same position they are on a regular iPhone, because one way or another, you're gonna have to unfold this thing, which means if you tried to keep the volume rocker, on the left side and the power button on the right side, like it is on a normal iPhone, that means when the iPhone is folded up, now your volume and power would be directly next to each other. So that wouldn't really work. Maybe you could move the volume down, but then that takes the place of the most important button of all, the button we're all using constantly, right? Camera control, the most useful button ever invented. Unfortunately, I was really hoping this feature was going to die after a couple generations, like 3D Touch or the Touch Bar, but it's rumored that yes, even the folding phone is keeping camera control, so that button is going to still be on the right side, sitting beneath the power button, similar to how it is on the 16 Pro and 17 Pro. And I understand you can't put buttons where the hinge would be and everything, but really just the top for volume? I don't know. It feels a little off. Maybe it's super intuitive and they experimented with different designs. We'll see. But moving towards the display, because there's no Face ID on this device, it's rumored that the dynamic island is also shrinking on the folding iPhone quite noticeably. In fact, it's supposed to just be a singular punch hole. So it's not even going to have a smaller pill like we're going to see on the 18 Pro and Pro Max. No, it's just going to be a singular perfect circle cut out on both the inside display and the outside display, so you have a front-facing camera either way. But he also went into a little bit of details with the design of the camera bump, which is not identical to the iPhone Air, actually. It does still stretch across the entire back, but this report is saying that that entire plateau is actually going to be blacked out with two lenses, both an ultra-wide and a main sensor. I'm guessing not as great a main sensor as the 18 Pros. I don't know the legality or the process with this, but it feels like whether it be Samsung, Google, or OnePlus, when you make a folding phone, it always has to have worse camera hardware. I don't know why, maybe just because it's all being stuffed into such a thin design, but don't expect it to be a class-leading camera. It will be fine, I'm sure, probably comparable to what you find on the regular iPhone 17, but still, considering the price point of this folding phone, in case you missed it, it's rumored to be $2,400. You'd think you could get, you know, the best possible camera, but I guess it just don't fit. Hopefully, to help digest that extremely high price point, they start it with a fairly high storage configuration. 512 gig would be fine. 1 terabyte would be kind of cool, honestly. But considering how expensive RAM and storage options are getting this time of year, I don't know. Maybe they'll just go cheap on it and keep it at $256. I mean, that's what they did with the Vision Pro at $3,500. But yeah, that means that it won't really have the same look on the back as a traditional iPhone where you have, you know, the 3 black holes contrasting with white glass. The folding iPhone is going to have a big glass plateau that stretches across the back. In my opinion, kind of sounds a little pixely, you know, just a little bit like the Pixel 10 in a sense. But the other weird part of this report is that they're pretty much not experimenting with that many colors with the folding iPhone, similar to the launch of the iPhone 10 back in 2017, because the manufacturing of it was so complex and limited in scale. There were only 2 colors back then. You could only get the iPhone 10 in space gray and silver, and so far they're saying silver, like the white option, is the only option they've actually mocked up so far. So it could just come in 1 color, but according to Instant Digital, who again has a pretty reputable track record, there's only going to be 1 additional color. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if it ends up being similar to the iPhone 10, where it's just white and black and there's no gold. I'm sorry, there's no dark blue, which might feel a bit weird for an iPhone of that price point, but Apple probably has the sales data that shows 95% of people are just buying space gray and silver. Most people are not getting a very colorful design anyway. But the last detail I'll leave you with, because there's a lot of headlines going around about this, which I think are a little bit deceptive. They're all saying the folding iPhone is going to have the biggest battery life of any iPhone yet, and the leaked milliamp hour allegedly is about 5,500. So right now we're getting over 5,000 in the 17 Pro Max. So we're talking about like barely 10% more than already the biggest battery in an iPhone, which again, it's like twice the price of a normal iPhone. So in my opinion, 5,500 milliamp hours is fine. It's standard, but with Apple Silicon on the inside, of course, and the A20 Pro chip rumored to be super energy efficient, battery life should be quite good for a folding phone. But just the caveat I would apply to that is it's also one of the smallest batteries ever included in an iPad, and they're definitely going to try to convince you that this is like replacing an iPad. But there's no Apple Pencil support rumored for this thing, so maybe that's how they keep you around. It's like, no, it's just an iPhone that happens to unfold, but you still need to buy an iPad for those other use cases out there, and you should still buy a MacBook for those other use cases out there, because modern day Apple says nothing can replace anything anymore. That's why iPads are the way they are. But how do you guys feel about the folding iPhone based on today's leaked specifications? Do you like the return of Touch ID? Do you still wish you had Face ID on a $2,400 iPhone? All that good stuff. Drop your thoughts down in the comments below. And thank you to everybody supporting this channel directly. Seriously, helps us out a ton, as does just watching these videos. So thanks again. This is your Apple Sheep here, and I will see you all in the next one.